we were having a conversation about universal health care and how you would pay more in taxes, but infinitely less overall for all of the things that you no longer have to chip in for if we were to go to like a UK style of universal healthcare. And the biggest argument against that on this end is I don't want to pay more taxes. I don't want my taxes going to this. I don't want to pay this. I don't want to do this. And this person here asks a question that we get a lot from people outside the United States. It says here, why in the US do you hate paying taxes so much? I know they're annoying, but I don't lose sleep about medical bills. In the UK, you can opt out or opt to have private healthcare. Sorry, but guess what? Those doctors. Anyway, the point of it, the comment goes on and it got cut off. The point of the conversation is why do you guys hate taxes so much in the United States? Now, let me first say I don't. I don't mind the taxes that the government takes from me. Sometimes it pinches. I'm like, when I'm writing quarterly checks to the tune of fucking 10 grand, it does hurt, but or can hurt. But I don't mind the money that they take as long as they spend it wisely. The reason why Americans as a whole have this adverse reaction to taxes is because it has been drilled into our heads from the time we started elementary school that taxes are a government intrusion, they're a bad thing. Remember, our entire sort of way of life was founded on what? How did it begin? By a bunch of guys throwing tea into the harbor because they didn't want to pay a tax on it, right? The Boston Tea Party. That has been drilled into our heads from day one. Taxation is theft. No, it's not. Taxation is not theft. Taxation is how you run a fucking society. Taxation is how you pay for roads and schools and bridges and infrastructure and libraries and parks and police and fire and all police and fire protection and all of that. It's how you run a society. It's how you fund a society. So first things first, if you say taxation is theft, raise your hand and then use that hand to smack yourself in the fucking back of the head because it's not theft. Hell, taxation is laid out in the goddamn Constitution. But because there's this mentality of that's the government reaching in your pocket to fuck you over, and that mentality has been over taught for 2 centuries now, whatever it is, that it's ingrained in Americans. It's ingrained. Like I said, I live in the state of Illinois. I see people in my area bitch, moan, and complain about the taxes in Illinois while they're driving a brand new Range Rover or a brand new Jeep Cherokee, and they've got a weekend house down by the river with a fucking pontoon boat and a couple of fucking jet skis, and they take a couple of vacations a year, and their kid doesn't worry about being in college, right? We can barely afford to live. Yeah, you're living fine. You're just looking for something to fucking bitch about. And I can understand how people outside the country are like, why do you guys bitch about your taxes? Because they get stuff for their taxes. They pay taxes and they get services in response. We get shitty infrastructure, crumbling schools, and no health care. So the last thing in the world most people in this country want to do is pay more to taxes and think that they're going to get less back. That's why. It's a fucked up mindset that has been drilled into Americans' heads for far too long.